Alright, Shalom. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. Honestly, brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And all praise unto Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. Okay, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. Honestly, brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity, man. Alright, so back out here again through the grace and mercy of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai to get into the scriptures to prophesy the downfall of America, well, Esau's empire, the Red Hebrew Edomite, okay, which is the people that run this world right now, okay. That's what the job of the prophets was to do, was to prophesy the downfall of whatever society that we're living in. And it was always about what? The children of Israel, the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, okay, who were the people that were taken into captivity, that was prophesied about, and who are at the bottom of the social economic ladder, which was also prophesied about, okay. So I'm gonna start here within the book of Jeremiah, and then you know, just go in the spirit today. Lord's will, I'll be able to get into some teaching and that, and then you know, it should be all right weather-wise, but we'll see how it goes. It is quite windy. So the book of Jeremiah, I'll start here within the book of Jeremiah. Was it 28 and 8? Okay, Jeremiah 28 and 8, and it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of wars and of evils and of pestilence. So when you check out the job of the prophets, the men of the Lord, going back into the time of Yahushua, whom the world knows as Yahushua, all right, they were speaking about the downfall of the Roman Empire. Go prior to the Greco-Roman Empire, you had the Medo-Persians. Okay, you had the Babylonians before that. All right, Jeremiah was prophesying in the times of the Babylonians. All right, and prior to the Babylon having taken down Jerusalem and carrying the children of Israel into the land of Babylon, you had it to where Jerusalem, okay, Israel, okay, but Jerusalem, Judah, which was left after Israel had been taken away to captivity underneath the Assyrians, which was the previous empire, you had it to where it was basically an autonomous state, not a vassal state, okay, not a conquered state, but an autonomous state. They was doing their own thing, all right? And you had many individuals that thought that was just going to continue forever and ever. And what Jeremiah was saying when he was on the scene was basically, look, because you guys have been going up for such a long time, and when you read the whole book of Jeremiah, you find out that Jake really was going hella off, okay? Kind of like how you got it right now. You got a lot of Israelites out there that are looking to build, okay, for the future. But the reality of the situation is the vast majority of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, you're going off right now. So therefore, the Mosai is going to raise up a destroying winds, which is going to be them ICBM nuclear missiles coming from the Russians, coming from them Iranians, coming from them from the Chinese, okay, to come up against Babylon, which is America. We know that it's America through the scriptures when we apply what's known as biblical and spiritual understanding to the scriptures, okay, and we understand that Babylon, okay, has got to be America. So here, when we go into the book of Jeremiah, I think it's the 2nd chapter, we find out that pretty much the Mosai, okay, Yahweh, has set up Judah, okay, to be all right, okay, going back onto the promise that he made unto King David, all right. They were supposed to be doing okay, but they went in the same way that the house of Israel went. In that the house of Israel, when we go into the book of Hosea, let's go into that, and then I come back into the book of Jeremiah. When we go into the book of Hosea, we find out that the children of Israel were carried away into captivity underneath the Assyrians, and soon after you had it to where the house of Judah, okay, was going in the same way, because during the times after King Solomon, which was the son of King David, all right, you had the kingdom split up, because you had King Solomon, because he went, he was into them other women of the other nations, right? Everybody knows that he had 1,000 women, all right. And one of the things you have to understand about having a whole bunch of women when we go back in the day, a lot of that was to do with keeping treaties. So when we're not gonna have to do that, but ultimately it's gonna be like a custom that we're gonna be doing, because when you're at peace with a lot of these different nations, you make treaties and deals based off of what? Based off of marriages, which was happening back in the day. Now, when he had made these treaties and these pacts with the heathen nations, okay, what happened was he followed the gods, okay, of which his women were into. So he had Moabite women, he had Ammonite women, he had Ishmaelite women, and they weren't Israelites, so they was into their own heathenistic customs, right? Now the scripture says, follow not the ways of a heathen, neither be dismayed of the stars of the signs of heaven. So when the Most High Yahweh had seen that, the punishment was that the kingdom was going to be split in half, all right? You had the northern kingdom, which was the Latin-speaking tribes, and you had the southern kingdom, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, okay? But you had a remnant of each of the tribes all over the place, because that's how we did it. We intermarried amidst the tribes, but for the most part, you had the northern part, which was the 9 tribes, the Latin-speaking tribes, Latin tribes, if you will, you know, you know, my mind is slipping me right now. Okay, was it Ephraim? Okay, Ephraim, Zebulon, Naphtali, and so on and so forth. And then you had the southern tribes out there with the capital being Jerusalem, all right, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay, so that's how it was set up there. So you had a divided kingdom. Now, when you had it to where the tribe of Israel, not the tribe of Israel, but rather more the kingdom of Israel after the split, which was the northern kingdom, when they had set up a king over them, one of the main things that the king did, okay, to establish his throne, was to make sure the house of Israel, okay, the kingdom of Israel, rather more not the house of Israel, but rather more the kingdom of Israel, didn't join back onto Judah. And one of the main things he did, because of the law, when you check out the law, when you go into the book of Leviticus, it tells you that the law, the Bible requires that all the men of Israel, the house of Israel, go back onto Jerusalem for the Passover, okay, for the feast of first fruits, I believe, and then there's one more. So 3 times in a year, were all the men within the house of Israel required to go back onto Jerusalem. Now check this out. Here it is, you had a divided kingdom, right? You had a kingdom divided between the southern kingdom, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and the northern kingdom, which was the rest of the tribes. And you had a king in either one, right? To establish that power, to maintain that power, all right, instead of having them to go back into the land of Judah, okay, and be worship, you know, to get back underneath the vibration of Judah. He basically set up a new religious scheme, okay, within the northern tribe, and that's how you had it to where the kingdom of Israel, they fell and they was carried away captives underneath the Assyrians, because they was going out there worshiping all kind of the gods of the heathen, which was a system that the king that had set up. I forget if it was Rehoboam or Jeroboam, but that was a system that he had set up to make sure that his power structure was maintained. Okay, now let's check this out. This is the book of Hosea, the 1st chapter, and we can start from the 6th verse. It says, we can start from the 1st verse. It says, the word of the Lord came unto Hosea the son of Beeri in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, in the days of Jeroboam, right, the son of Joash, right, the king of Israel. So it was Jeroboam that was the king of Israel, okay, which was the northern kingdom, right? Now check this out. It says, in the beginning of the word of Hosea, and the Lord said unto Hosea, go take thee a wife of whoredoms, and the children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredoms, departing from the Lord. Now this is dealing with Jeroboam being the king over the kingdom of Israel, okay? Because pretty much what the Most High had likened the children of Israel is, he likened them unto being a comely women unto himself. All right, the scripture heavily goes into how the Most High set it up to where the Most High is beloved. Okay, it says it a few times, my beloved Israel. Okay, it says it, his fervent lover. All right, he likened Israel to being a chaste virgin unto himself. All right, the scripture says that the Most High was married unto us. In fact, let me get a quick precept. Right, dealing with the badger skin, that's also in the book of Jeremiah, okay, and that goes in, that kind of goes into it heavy, because when you have a good comely maiden, okay, a woman, right, and that's your chaste version, that's your fervent lover, you're gonna clothe her with all kind of ornaments, man. You're gonna take care of that woman, okay. You might buy her a car. All right, you might buy her, I mean, if you're in the ancient kingdom, you're going to give her slaves, okay, you're going to give her resources, all right? And that's what the Most High did. He basically set it up to where both the kingdom of Israel, right? As the entirety in the time of King David, that we was doing good, all right? We taken down the Edomites during the Battle of Salt and many other battles. We took down many strongholds. Okay, in fact, the Lord said, the scripture says that the Most High set it up to where King Solomon was going to establish and build a temple, all right, rather than King David, because King David had gone out there and made so much wars against the heathen nations to the end that the world was underneath his, was subjugated underneath him, that there was too much blood upon his hands. Okay, so going back onto the point I was making, bro. So I'm going to search out right here within the Blue Bible, right? Okay, so this is the book of Ezekiel. And I can start from Ezekiel 16:1. I'll start from the top. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, all right, a son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations." And when you go into the scriptures, the book of Isaiah 58:1, it says, "Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and tell these people their iniquity." So another job of the prophets was to go tell the children of Israel, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, about how they was going off and not keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, which was likened unto an abomination unto it. Now you got to where the whole world's underneath the vibration of America. The scripture says that the Lord has made it to where Babylon was a golden cup within his hands, all right, and he's basically poured up, an abominable vibration using America, man. So when you go to where you got Jake, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, they're heavy into the ways of America, or okay, they're westernized. They was gonna be heavy into iniquities, man. They was gonna be heavy into sin. So what's that gonna result in? That's gonna result into the Most High saying that what? That they have they was going to be abominable, and the men of the Lord, not that we're more righteous, but rather more that our righteousness was of the Most High. Okay, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, I'll be one of those men, but because of because the Most High set us up, we was going to put a mirror, we was going to be likened unto a mirror, okay, really for all these people, but principally for the children of Israel, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, whom the Most High was going to give mercy unto the elect of that, okay? Because contrary to common belief, the Lord wasn't going to return and wasn't going to send his son when he returns the second time to redeem everybody, but rather the elect of the children of Israel, okay? Now I might get into that a little bit later on. So it says, Ezekiel 16:1, it says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations," right? And that's the objective of the prophets. We're putting a mirror to you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, letting you know, look, this is the reality of the situation. This is what needs to be done. Okay, you need to get right with the Most High. Okay, you need to not use your grace, because we are in a period of grace, but you ain't supposed to be using your grace period, okay, for an occasion to the flesh. Okay, because you can get, Esau set it up to where you can get away with a lot of things out here, man. You can go out there, see, there's what's known as foods are abomination. Okay, the scripture says that the pig was an abomination unto the children of Israel. Okay, and they're out there eating swine all day. Okay, the scripture says that the catfish was an abomination unto the children of Israel, and they out there eating catfish soup all day. Okay, and many other things, right? But see, within this society, Esau has it to where one of the things that is held high in esteem, those are usually the most abominable things, man. That's why you go on, you watch the TV, and you see all of the menus that they have. Okay, and they have they have not the menus, but rather more the food adverts they have. It'll be nothing but abominations, man. All right. And that's where you have the men of the Lord that say, look, hold on a minute, this is how you're acting out. Okay, this is what's happening. This is why this is happening, which is the which is the troubles, the iniquity, not the troubles, but rather more the judgment the Most High puts upon the children of Israel for going off in the first place. And that goes into the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 50th verse, which I'm going to read after I go back into the book of Jeremiah, the 28th chapter. Because one of the main reason you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are on the lowest socio-economic level within this society is because you're laden with iniquity. Okay? So it says there, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, okay, which was the man Ezekiel, but we come in the stead of Ezekiel, and we come in the stead of Jeremiah, okay, we come in the stead, okay, which was the prophets that was there with the Lord Yahweh Shai when he was on the earth 2,000 years ago. All right, Son of Man caused Jerusalem to know our abominations. That's what I'm doing here. I'm telling you, Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, the reason why you're in the slums is because you didn't keep to the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord. Okay, it says here, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, unto Jerusalem the birth and thy nativity is in the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite and thy mother was a Hittite. And for thy nativity in the day that was born, thy navel was was not cut, neither was thou washed in water. So that's not really relevant. Okay, 6th verse, it says, when I passed thee, I saw thee polluted in thine own blood. I said unto thee, no, let's go further than that. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. So if I read here from the 6th verse, okay, that's just to build the story up, but then the point I want is from the 10th verse onwards, okay? So it says here, when I passed thee, I saw thee polluted in thy own blood. I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live ye, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, and I have caused thee to multiply as the bud in the field. And that's where the Lord set it up, right? When we was out there within the land of Egypt, okay, when we came out the land of Egypt, we was becoming a big nation, man, okay? And the Mosai set that up. And we was planted within our own land, okay, we multiplied. Now, when we go back into the book of Hosea, you're going to find out that within the book of Hosea, pretty much the Mosai, even though he had cut us off from being a people unto him for a period of time, really he set it up to where we was going to increase in number as the sand of the sea, okay? So continuing here, it says, I've caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, right? And thou hast increased and waxed great, and thou art come to the excellent ornament, okay, thy breasts and thy are furnished, thy hair is grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare. Now when I passed thee, and I looked upon, and behold, thy time was thy time of thy love, and I spread my skirt over thee, and covered thee thy nakedness. Now this ain't talking about, see, this is where people get caught up, because they don't know where it's metaphorical and where it's literal. Okay, this is a metaphorical statement, okay, like where the Mosai is liking the whole house of Israel unto what? Unto a woman that was in a destitute position. Okay, so he's saying, look, this is the situation I found you in. I cleaned you up, okay, I covered thee, okay, now you're good, okay. So it says there, 8th verse, it says, I passed thee and I looked upon thee, and behold, thy time was the time of thy love, and I spread my skirt over thee, and I covered thee, and thy nakedness, which nakedness means what? Means means a lack of understanding. And the Most High gave us the understanding of the scriptures. Okay, and it says, and yea, I swear unto thee, and I enter thee into a covenant with thee. That's the important bit. Because here it is, you got it to where a lot of people think that they just got access to the covenant with the children of Israel. The Most High kept his end of the covenant. That's the thing with an agreement like the covenant. That's the thing with it. Because here it is, the Most High was always going to keep up his end of the bargain. Okay, here it is, we didn't follow the laws, statutes, commandments of the Lord. Okay, so he said what within the book of Deuteronomy and in the books of the Lord, he said he was going to jack us up. Okay, but now you go to where other people are saying, oh, the New Testament is for everybody and this, that, and the third. But that goes against the original covenant. Okay, which would make the Most High what? Which would make the Most High a liar, man. Okay, so you go to where the first covenant and the second covenant was established for who? For the children of Israel. Okay, so let me get that right quick to prove that. The book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter, and the 8th verse on down, he says, for finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant. So here it is, we're reading about the old covenant within the book of Ezekiel, the 16th chapter, which is telling you there, is giving you like a precursor. Okay, it's giving you the background. Here's the situation that you was in. I built you up, I cleaned you up, I covered you up, I covered thy nakedness, and I made a covenant with thee. Okay, like just like how you might find a woman that's she's in a bad spot. Okay, you build that woman up, and then you come into an agreement with her that would be what, like a marriage. Okay, but check it out. You had it where the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, which were the children of Israel, they didn't keep up to that covenant, man. They started going off and worshiping the other gods of the heathen nation. Right, going into the history that we was going into, you had Jeroboam, okay, which was the king over Israel. He started making it to where the whole nation of Israel was following after, which was not the whole nation of Israel, but rather more the kingdom of Israel was following after the gods of the heathen, man. They were sacrificing their children to Moloch. Okay, they was doing all kind of abominable things, man, setting up altars unto the gods of the heathen. And the Most High said all of those things was punishable by death. So he rose up the Assyrians, okay, underneath Tiglath-Pileser III, okay, his children, which was Sargon II, Shalmaneser V, and they came up against the children of Israel, and I believe it was Shalmaneser V that had taken down, okay, the children of the kingdom of Israel, not the children of Israel, but rather more the kingdom of Israel. Now, what they have tried to do is take down the kingdom of Judah, but they failed to do so. The scripture tells you that within the book of Isaiah, because I believe the king that was in Israel at that time, not Israel, but rather more in Jerusalem at that time, was Hezekiah, which was a righteous king. But after that, you didn't have any more righteous kings. I don't think you had too many righteous kings after him. Okay, you had it to where you had a lot of the kings that came after him was going off. And that's where you get into the times of Jeremiah, okay, when he was on the scene, and pretty much when Jeremiah was on the scene. Okay, you okay there, mate?
Yeah. Listening to you.
Yeah, so this is about the Bible. You believe in the Bible?
I do, so yeah.
Okay, good. So I'll ask you a question. Within the Bible, right, who was gonna have mercy? Okay, you know about the mercy, the Lord coming back and everything, right? Right, so pretty much you got what was known the New Testament and the Old Testament, right? Thank you.
So I'll have to come back.
That's
Sorry,
okay, man.
Sorry, bud.
All right. Okay, so going back onto the scriptures here. Okay, we had a small crisis of wind there. All right, so going back onto the scriptures, like I was saying, so in the time